it's really windy out, so if you hear like a then that's probably the wind. So sorry about that.
No matter what I do, all I think about is you. Even when I'm with my boo, you know I'm crazy over you.
So if you guys are new to the series, go check out episode 1 first, and then binge watch the whole thing. The link is in the description below. So do you guys remember my counselor from episode 3? Her name is Miss W, and I would talk to her like every day during the school year to change my schedule or just say hi or whatever. We would frequently have one-on-one chats, in our office, just talking about life and school and things like that. It was nice. I said in episode 3 that Miss W actually knows about my YouTube channel, but she's a bit on the older side, so she didn't really catch that I changed my accent for school. So I'm guessing she just watched my dance videos and not the ones where I actually talked. For the first semester, I would talk to her like every day because I had yoga, and on my way to yoga there was Miss W's office, so I can just drop by and say hi or whatever. But in the second semester I didn't have yoga, so I didn't talk to her as much, but I still talked to her like every week or so. Every time I talked to her, she would always say something about my YouTube channel, and she would say I'm creative and talented and stuff like that. Of course I'm thankful, but it's weird because every time she compliments my channel, I'm like, how does she not know I'm switching my accent? I mean, literally half my videos nowadays are happy school days, which is me talking about changing my accent in my new school, which my counselor is in. So I don't know how she's not catching this. So I would get nervous every time she talked about it, but we just kind of went on with the conversation, and we would talk about school and things like that. One day, sometime during the 3rd quarter, I had a really bad grade in English class, so Miss W came to me to talk about it. We had a little one-on-one conversation in her office, and I just told her, it's hard for me to do English because I don't understand the book, and it's hard for me to read the very big words. The funny part is, what I said is actually true. Like, it doesn't just apply to happy, it applies to K as well. I really don't understand the textbook and all these big words like trollop. So Miss W was like trying to help me out and teaching me all the vocab words and just showing me like the meanings of certain paragraphs in the book. And she said English is not my stronger language, so it's gonna be harder for me to understand the book. So she gave me all these tips and tricks and told me to talk to the teacher after every class, and gave me all these helpful advice. Happy was like, oh, thank you so much. But Kay felt kind of bad because she was genuinely trying to help me when I was just blaming everything on my lack of English knowledge, which is actually true, but it's more of a problem where I just need to sit down and study, and I'll be fine. About a week before the end of the school year, I talked to Miss W again, and just catch up, say hi and stuff like that. And she mentioned my YouTube channel again. She did the usual, I really like your uniqueness, I like your talent, you should go to an art school, which I'm going to talk about in the final episode. But anyway, she said I was really unique and no one else would do what I would do. And at first I was like, oh, thank you so much. And then I kind of replayed the sentence in my head, no one would do what you would do. Huh. I mean, I'm pretty sure she was talking about, just the fact that I make videos, but something in my brain was telling me that she was talking about happy, so I was like, do you know about my accent? Oh yeah, I've known for the whole year. So this whole time, this whole year, she's known that I've been faking a Japanese accent, and every time I make an excuse on why I don't know English, she knew what was up the whole time. The weird thing is, she didn't say anything about it, she just went along with it. So I was like, okay, I see you. You guys remember Ken, right? I talked about him in episode 4 and 13, maybe 14, I think, something like that. Ken is one of Happy's closer friends because they sit together at lunch for like the whole year. So it was about 8 o'clock, I believe on a Wednesday. It was like the second to last week of school. I was walking home, I think it was after a dance banquet or something like that, because I took like a ballet jazz class in school, which was was pretty fun. But anyway, point is, I finished the the little award ceremony going on, and I was walking home. 8 o'clock at night. I get a text. I read the text, and it was from Ken. I'm reading this, and it just shows a bunch of cuss words and stuff like "you're a liar," and blah blah blah, and all this scary stuff like in all caps. And I was like, someone's not happy. I finish reading, and I come to the conclusion that he may have possibly found out. So I hit him up with that nice, way to go, don't tell anyone. So the way he found out is me and my friend Weston, I talked about him in a couple episodes before, but me and Weston, we did a dance performance. I actually uploaded a video of that dance performance a couple months ago. It's a couple videos back, but you can find it. Anyway, we did the dance performance. Actually, I think that was the day that we performed it, and then that night, Ken he looked up happy dance performances, and then he looked up my real name, dance performances, and that's how I found it. So yeah, and then he saw that video, and then he was like, oh, this is freaking awesome. But then he saw the other videos, and then yeah. But Ken was really angry. He was texting some pretty scary stuff like, you lied to me. How do I know you're saying the truth? I will end you. Not even kidding. He actually said that. So at first when I was reading this, I was like, oh shoot, I'm kind of scared. It's like 8:30 at night. I'm getting these texts. It's pretty scary. But then I took a second and thought, is he really angry? Ken is a really smart and kind of nerdy person. I explained in a couple, I think episode 4 or something like that. But yeah, he's a smart, intelligent kid. He has my sense of humor. In fact, our whole lunch table has the same sense of humor. We're kind of offensive, but we can't take everything lightly. Not a big deal. Everything's chill. But yeah, then I started reading the texts in Ken's voice, and it came out a lot more okay. And I was like, oh, because do you know how when sometimes you receive a text or you send a text, it doesn't come out the way you want, or sometimes you gotta read it in their voice to understand what it really means, I guess. Well, that's how it kind of was with Ken, and when I read it in his voice, it was like, oh, okay, this isn't too bad. So I was like, sorry. Don't tell anyone. And after a couple minutes of just texting back and forth and stuff like that, he said, happy, or should I say K, you are the best liar I've ever met. I think that was the best compliment I have ever received in my entire life. I mean, if you compliment my looks, I'll be flattered. If you compliment my talents or whatever, I'll be really happy. But if you compliment my ability to deceive people, straight to the heart. So I told Ken not to tell the group because I want to reveal it to everyone at the end of the year, which it was only a week left, so he was like, okay, fine. And yeah, everything turned out well. I told everyone at the end of the year, and I got it on footage. In fact, I took it in this room because I told everyone to come over, and that's where I told them, and I got the camera ready and everything, and I told them, and it was pretty funny. So yeah, that's gonna come out next week. So yeah. But the next day at lunch was the funniest thing ever, because the moment I sat down at the lunch table and I just looked at him, we just started smiling, and it was the most awkward but funniest thing ever. And everyone was just talking normally, and every time I would chip into the conversation, he would just look at me like, you bastard. But yeah, it was pretty funny. And then when the rest of the group leaves, me and Ken would just smile, and he would just be like, I hate you. And I'd be like, at the end of the year, Ken did manage to keep the secret. I told everyone. It was pretty funny. Like I said, you're gonna see it next week. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys liked the video. I like fountains.